very small park, and doing the, actually, there's a fourth company that's going to deliver the planters that we're going to place around the bump outs on 60th and Burnham. So it's actually 4 different components to this park. But
Okay, are we going to be, with all these different contractors, are we going to be like, oh, the swing set isn't coming until October? Is it going to be one of those deals?
well, they're all saying that's going to be April, May, June.
Okay, and then,
I think they could, they're all kind of independent. The painting of the pavement can be done separately from building the park.
okay,
We'll have to have the footing or the area where the play structure will go
Okay.
before the play structure can arrive. But other than that, I think everything else can kind of go independently.
and then just one more thing. What if we find out that the planters didn't work out in traffic?
Well, we tried it last year and it seemed to be okay.
For a weekend?
Yeah, we made some tweaks because there were some
Okay.
parts of it that didn't actually.
That's what I heard all the time, was, oh,
Yeah.
someone's going to, okay,
Yeah.
nobody did yet, but, okay.
We got some calls.
I do agree with the planner because for what I noticed last year, I think it does slow the traffic down, really. I mean, some people don't like because people like
Yeah.
to speed,
I just got
I
some,
think that's a great
we got some
idea.
calls from some angry people, but we've made some modifications so that that won't happen. People were getting stuck behind a bus. The buses will be able to pull off to the side.
Yes.
People will be able to get through.
Be able to drive
So
through
it'll be
there,
better than it was last year.
Mr. Chair,
Who was that?
Alderwoman Grisham.
Oh, okay,
That's okay.
it's like a ventriloquist act here. It's just like, I
That's
can't
okay.
tell who's.
Looking at this playground design, who did the conceptual design of the playground here?
It's parkitecture.
Okay. It's not a common design. That's why I was expecting more of a actual playground setup versus,
Oh, the actual wood
the wood
structure.
logs, and it looks like there's stone steps up to the playground equipment, which is just one singular slide.
It's a very
So
unique.
I thought
Yeah.
we would have done better, but maybe it's something that I haven't seen before.
It's very unique and, yeah, it's a one-of-a-kind, it's going to be a one-of-a-kind thing.
Okay.
I guess the development planning department was very involved in that part of it.
Okay.
I wasn't so much. It'll be very unique. They use local materials, I guess. I'm trying to remember what else. It's very similar to what we actually had out there during the Better Block. They had some wood out there and it's just something very simple. Yeah, it's not going to be a fancy playground with swings and
Okay.
slides and stuff, but it's more of it's a very small area, so.
Yeah, it looks to be. Now, is there going to be a garden area in there too? Did I
No,
hear
don't
something?
think so.
Okay.
No, but there's this little stage and, it's a very small area, so I mean, there's not a lot. There's going to be a stage and places to sit, and that's about all there was really room for, I guess.
Okay, all right, I'm going to pass this along in case somebody has not seen the
A
design.
vending truck parked there, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, for the food
they
trucks,
had the food trucks there last year, I think.
Yeah, well, it was very successful, really. I mean, it was very, very nice.
Will there be an area for picnic tables?
Yeah, I think
family?
there's a few tables there.
Okay.
Right.
Mr. Chair.
Alderman Stefanski.
So is this $220,000 covering the swing and then the bump outs and all that stuff, or is it?
No, the 220 is just to build the park. The play structure was about 70,000, and then the pavement marking was another 50,000, but it's all coming out of, I got it right here. All CDBG.
I like the
Out of block grant, but my question is, how much does the swing set, the set that's at Rogers Park say cost?
I don't know, but
Because I'd be more impressed if we had something like that than that.
well, that has already been approved. That contract was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I guess.
If I may say, Mr. Chair, I know
Go ahead,
that
Alderman
when
Bishop.
we had Reservoir redone, that was up towards $300,000-$400,000, and that might have been on the conservative side.
For the place set.
Playground equipment, all of that, so
they're quite
it's not, it's not
I mean,
inexpensive.
we're saying that place at 70 grand?
Yeah.
Not impressed.
But that was approved already.
Right, that was, yeah, 70,000. Is that 50,000 for crawling?
Okay, is there anything else from, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for approval.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Enough prior, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 33, resolution accepting work of MJ Construction Incorporated for street construction in South 73rd Street from Greenfield to West National Avenue, and authorizing and directing settlement of said contract in accordance with the contract terms for final payment of 2017 project number 10 in the amount of $20,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Why so long, Pete?
There were some problems with some of the sidewalk
Okay.
that was badly finished, and
Poor
they
you.
were dragging their feet, so.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 34, resolution accepting work of UPI LLC for street construction in South 80th from West Grant to West Lincoln Avenue and South 87th from West Harrison to the dead end, and authorizing settlement of said contract in accordance with contract terms for final payment of 2019 project number 7 in the amount of $2,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 35, resolution accepting work of UPI LLC for sanitary sewer relay and sanitary spot relay in various locations, and authorizing settlement of said contract in accordance with contract terms for final payment of 2018 project number 13 in the amount of $5,000.
Move for
To
approval.
approve.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 36, resolution to accept the proposal of Clean Harbors Environmental Services Incorporated for contamination cleanup of the waste oil tank at the municipal yard drop-off site.
Move to approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Yes, Ro. That was, you want to tell them what happened, or maybe they know?
So what we have is we provide a service at the drop-off site for free waste oil removal or delivery. And in doing that, the waste oil tank was, over 20, 25 years old. In the process of replacing that tank, we had to remove its contents. We had a contractor that was going to remove the oil contents, which we always do on a weekly basis. In doing that, they seen certain sludge that was in the tank, so they wanted to test it, and it came back as a contaminant, as mercury within the contents there. So that opened up another stage of, I guess, disposal requirements that we had to abide by. In doing that, we removed the tank and we decontaminated the delivery truck and its contents, but we were stuck with the remaining oil contents inside the oil tank, waste tank that we had at the drop-off site, as well as the tank itself. In doing that, it was approximately $8,300, and then plus the $20,000 here to remove that. So it's just, a person, we don't know if it's 3 months ago, 3 years ago, 15 years ago, but someone put mercury inside that tank and contaminated the contents. So.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Grisham.
Just want to make sure everything has been cleaned up, though. This is just the last of it.
This is the last of
Testing
it, and with our approval, Alderperson Grisham, then everything would be removed, and the tank itself would be encapsulated and shipped out, and we would have a new tank there at the site.
All right, thank you.
Alderman Spansky.
Is there a way for us to prevent something like this from happening again?
No. To be honest with you, we would have to test each and every person that comes in with motor oil or some type of waste oil, And to do that readily, right there, yeah, it's not practical unless we look at just continuing providing that service of collecting waste oil from patrons.
Dave, is there a camera on that tank?
There's not that you can see individuals depositing that, but still you will not
I mean, I would
identify.
think twice if I'm dumping mercury, if there's a camera, even if it's a camera that's not working, just
Right.
like a deterrent.
If they mix it with waste oil,
You wouldn't know.
you wouldn't notice it as much
I know,
because
it just-
it's gonna swirl in there, but if there was something like the dips that you can put inside of it, can you do that? Is there something?
Like an immediate test, there's not. This took about 72 hours once they collected the sample. And we did verify the sample by 2 other contractors, and it did come back with almost similar results. So,
There's nothing that would detect, like a litmus test for mercury. There's nothing like that, or nothing that, and then it says, hey, something's in there.
I would have to check on that to see if you had a readily type of test that
Okay,
almost
that's good.
instantaneous,
If you're
but
thinking about it.
Yeah, if you could check, that'd be cool, because if it's something we need to do, I would be for it. But
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Alderman Grisham.
Just a quick question or a comment to what you had said. What would the impact to the community be, or how would we look at this if we chose not to take waste oil?
Well, good question.
Or
So the
waste.
responsibility of disposing of waste oil would have to be on that person or that persons within that family household. Then you would probably have to look at, I guess, disposing this waste legally and then versus illegally.
Correct.
We are also getting reports, several reports of oil being disposed of within our catch basin stormwater system, and which we're trying to take corrective surveillance measures for that. So for individuals that are maybe doing their own, which I applaud them, of oil removal and changing, but if they have a small business, we're getting reports from other neighbors and patrons that they are disposing within a catch basin storm sewer. So with that, we're taking action, and hopefully we can working with the police department as well with that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, Stefan,
Real quick question.
you first, then you.
Real quick question.
Go ahead.
There's some gas stations or service stations that collect waste oil. When they have their waste oil removed, where does that get, who removes that? Is that a service or?
So like what we do for this waste oil, we have a contractor that we've been contracting with, and they remove the oil. They come in on a weekly basis, in our case, and remove that. So whatever that gas station, repair station, they would have it, daily, bi-weekly or weekly or what have you, but they would have to remove that per the state and federal guidelines set forth, for the disposal.
I'm just wondering if we'd be better off going around that route and us not providing the service. That's why I brought the question up, because
And that, I guess we would have to weigh the pros and cons, and then we would have to look at, I guess, what's the benefit, how is this benefiting the patrons? Is it better for us accepting this and not putting the individuals in that position where they could be potentially dumping illegally? We might see more of that. And it's kind of hard within, the number of living units that we have in West Dallas to monitor that, so.
because if we keep this and we got this new tank now, okay? Somebody comes in and does this again. How much does it cost us to clean it up?
Depends on the quantity of oil that's within the tank in itself. So with that, if you have a 5-gallon or 1,000-gallon tank, if it's almost full, obviously you don't have to decontaminate, remove that contaminated oil, but also you don't have to decontaminate the tank itself, which is hard with mercury. So it's almost replacing the whole tank again. Has to be encapsulated in concrete, and then it can be landfilled.
Wow.
So.
Alderman Vitale.
yeah, Dave, first of all, I do believe, this service, this program should be continued, really. Because like you mentioned earlier about the cage basins, there's people out there, even without we provide service, they'll dump their oil. And I seen myself on Arthur, just in the mid alley, there's a cage basin, people dump oil right in the cage basin. So to me, if we didn't have that service, I believe it would be a lot worse. Really, to me, it's something we have to continue to provide that. And then I know there is some garage, auto garage. They have like oil tanks which they use for eating their premises, their place. So I wonder if it would be something that, if there's somebody interested within our city here, if they would be interested to get it, of course, for nothing, which they have to pump it out themselves. You think it's something could be something we can probably look into if somebody's interested to get that oil and use it for themselves, or is some legal issue about that?
So we currently do have a furnace that's in our weld shop that we can use recycled
Oh.
oil. It's just a matter when it's contaminated and we're notified of that, we can't use that recycled oil or that waste oil. Great point. So within our weld shop, that's what we use
You use that,
as an
right?
alternative.
Okay.
Correct. So whatever we can take within that area and within the weld shop, and then the rest is being contracted for disposal.
Okay. Very good.
Good
Thanks.
point.
Okay, thank you. Has there been a motion?
There wasn't a motion
Okay,
for approval.
has it been seconded?
Yeah.
Okay,
Second, Ellen.
it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Dave.
Item 37, resolution relative to accepting the proposals of City Electric Supply, Crescent Electric, I'm guessing that's Jex Pro Supply, Gray Bar, and Near Electric for furnishing and delivering fuses, fuse holders.
Move to
connect-
approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And Alderman Stefancio now remind me to make a motion to
I like
adjourn.
that, Jerry.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, the only thing I like about it, they save you to waste some of your wrath, You said to me the whole
Chairman
thing.
Vitale, are
It's
we moving
painful
on
as
to
some of
the
you
next?
aldermen in the
I
past.
don't have anything. Sorry, there's nothing. All right, we're good. We're
We're
golden.
done.
We're done.
Thank you all.
No, license and health, we got nothing.
Do we have anything from that? We did it
No.
Oh,
earlier.
I thought there was sometimes.
There's additions.
We take care of all, I mean, that's why I
We're
do
looking at
things.
us here, people.
And,
It was all taken care of at the
Alderman
store.
Vitale, did you turn in those license plates to the
Carol.